Hello and welcome. I'm Mary, your host today from the business development team here at Looker and Google Cloud, and I am thrilled to welcome you to Join at Home. What I love most about my job is enabling people to solve their problems and meet their goals, and that connects right to the heart of Join. Looker is one thing that we all share in common. So if this were our regular in-person event, you'd likely strike up a conversation with a neighbor, asking them, how do you use Looker and what do you love about it? And let's be real, talk about all of your favorite hacks. We have some live content to recreate that in-person magic. We'll dive into what's new in Looker, hear from our partners, and explore the 2022 roadmap with members of the product and engineering team. So to kick things off, let's hear from Jamie Davidson, who leads product at Looker. Also, at the end of this keynote, Jamie will be back with us for a live Q&A. So be sure to enter any of your burning questions over here as we go. Thanks so much, and over to you, Jamie.
Thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm Jamie Davidson, Director of Product for Looker. At Looker, our mission is to empower people through the smarter use of data, or said more simply, we want to help our customers create value from their data. Looker is an industry-leading enterprise BI tool, but we really think of ourselves as a data platform first, on top of which BI is the killer application that pushes our platform forward. We see our customers using us far beyond what you classically think of as BI, so beyond reporting and self-serve analytics, and it spans a spectrum. We see customers starting with embedded dashboards in internal portals and into SaaS tools. We see customers then taking those portals and externalizing them for their customers and their partners. And it goes all the way to creating custom data-driven experiences and applications on top of our platform. Our platform's differentiated because of a couple of unique architectural decisions we made really at the start of the company. The first is an in-database approach where we want to leverage cloud-native data warehouses like BigQuery and the novel technology on top of it. On top of that in-database architecture, we've got a semantic modeling layer, LookML, where analysts encode data relationships and business logic. That modeling layer is integrated with Git and version control, which gives you a change management process and governance. And then finally, we are a cloud-native application too with an API-first philosophy. We've been super busy this past year. We built on our new dashboarding experience and enabled folks to be able to cross-filter, leveraging our in-database technology, so cross-filter at petabyte scale. We released new UX to enable easier navigation of Looker instances. Being a part of the search company now, we released a brand new way to search on top of your content. We continue to invest in our Explore experience too and released a much simpler and easier to use field picker and some starting points for augmented analysis with forecasting on top of time series. We continue to invest in our platform and the ability to be able to build custom data-driven experiences and released our extension framework this past summer. This enables you to host custom front-end experiences too inside the Looker application. We released JavaScript components that make it easy to build those custom experiences, and we released our API Explorer and Dev Portal to make it easy to learn how. We also invested a ton in our core differentiation and leverage on top of our semantic model, including things like our incremental PDTs, which we've seen customers use to drive substantial performance improvements and infrastructure cost gains. We've revamped the way we do our LookML generation and took a holistic look at our LookML modeling. So revamped our IDE with a metadata sidebar, released a new entity relationship diagram, and a data dictionary to make it easier to understand what's in your model. Three broad themes for the next year that we're going to talk about are, first, composable analytics. So continuing the work we've done with our extension framework, continuing the work we've done with our JavaScript SDKs and our APIs. We're also going to really start heavily investing in augmented analysis too. Looker's always been about democratizing access to data. Analysts encodes data relationships and ultimately enables a broader organization to ask questions of their data. We want to make it even easier to derive insight from it too and use machine intelligence to do so. And finally, we're taking LookML and the semantic model that you encode to define your business, and we want to make it truly universal. So, of course, within the integrated BI experience, within the custom data-driven experiences that you build on top of our platform, but then also into novel experiences like Google Sheets or even third-party BI tools too, so you can use trusted data in any context. Let's explore some new features and real-world examples of how others are pushing the envelope of what's possible to do with data.
Thanks, Jamie. It's a great reminder. All of our work with data is in service to the end user so that their decisions and actions are data-driven. Next, we're going to hear from Tochi, the product manager who leads our composable team. He has some exciting news about building data experiences and custom applications with Looker that infuse modern workflows with trusted data. Tochi will also then have a brief conversation with David Stalker, Director of Engineering over at 4 Mile Analytics, who is building one of the coolest custom data applications we've seen for some of the largest companies in the entire world.
Well, thanks so much, Mary. And hi, everyone. My name is Tochi, and I'm a product manager on the Looker application platform team. And we specifically create features, embedded analytics features and platform features that allows our customers to go beyond BI and create extended data experiences. I'll start with the Looker platform. And the Looker platform provides a unified view into your business data. And with this unified view into your business, you can choose or design experiences for different parts of your organization. It could be modern BI applications and modern BI and analytics solutions, all the way to custom applications that are powered by our APIs and our SDKs. And with that in mind, when you leverage the Looker platform, what you see and what that results in is all these real-time solutions that can feed into multi-device applications. And what you're seeing on the screen here is just a fraction of what is possible. Our customers can build things like modern data analytics applications, like an insights portal or an embedded reporting system or data explorer or tracking and monitoring systems. Whatever our customers want to create to extend their business use cases is possible with the power of the Looker platform. When we think about creating reusable analytics components, we think about 3 core features that we provide with our platform that makes all of these things possible. One is embedding with our iframes. The second one is our APIs. And the third is the extension framework, which allows our customers to build and host applications right on the Looker platform and save considerable amount of development time. Each of these core areas have their own SDKs that our customers can leverage as well. So when we think about composable analytics, we think about the extension framework as an accelerator, saving our customers time, saving the need to stand up a front-end server or a back-end server or infrastructure cost that it takes to build these custom data experiences, because you're now building these applications right on the Looker platform. And then combining extensions with components. Components is the other half of the equation. Recently, we launched our filter components and visualization components that are the UI building blocks that enables our customers to create the visual side of these data experiences. Nice to meet you again, David. Why don't you tell us about some of the stuff that you do at 4 Mile, what your role is, and how that ties into all the analytical good stuff that you guys work on at 4 Mile?
So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. 4 Mile Analytics is a full stack data analytics consultancy, and we bring together all the different disciplines that are necessary to bring custom data experience to life, including analysts, data engineers, product designers, product management, project management, and my team, which focuses on application engineering. So what I do in the organization is I work with a talented team of engineers to bring the big vision for custom data products into working code and architectures that are scalable, reliable, and delight customers.
Awesome. And just I would love to touch on the 4 Mile story and just understand some of the challenges and maybe missed opportunities that you saw or previously saw with data that helped you to kind of see this way of approaching problems from a data standpoint.
Yeah, so what we love so much about the Looker platform is it provides a very powerful and easy to consume data model layer and a first-class API, which lets us focus on driving innovation in the user experience. Traditionally, people think about analytics or BI as being dashboards with rectangles and dashboards. But using the Looker API, we can do so much more. We can define custom user flows. We can overlay queries in exciting and engaging ways. And we can also use the results of those queries, those insights that users are deriving from their data, to drive action into other systems. So those are the kinds of things that we have really seen a big uptick in terms of customer adoption. And the net result really is customers are able to define and imagine new use cases and derive new value from the mountains of data they're sitting on. We can work on exploring and defining the best possible product market fit through understanding customers and their pain points. And we can create a design that is geared towards driving engagement and adoption. Because Looker is so good at modeling, we love version control in our data model. We can rapidly iterate on the model, which means that we can also rapidly iterate on the data product that sits on top of that model, which means accelerating the speed to value for our end customer.
And do you think that, that with that thought process in mind and the way you approached your vision, do you feel like that was kind of a vision validator, or do you think that validated 4 Mile's vision and your approach to looking at data problems this way?
Yeah, I mean, 4 Mile has a very long-standing and deep connection with Looker. Our founder was a former director of engineering at Looker, and we've always really seen the potential of Looker being a foundational piece in a data platform. And I would say at the beginning, we were making big investments in this capability, and the uptick wasn't as strong when we first started. But starting about 2 years ago, we started seeing basically mid-tier and enterprise customers begin to reimagine what's possible for their analytical experiences for their end customers, to the extent now where we're working with a wide array of very large enterprise organizations with very, very ambitious programs to deliver analytics to a wide array of their customers, basically repackage their data over and over again into new user experiences, new user interfaces, and just squeezing more value out of that data and driving more value to their end customers.
That's super exciting. What advice would you give to someone who's thinking about doing the same thing, in terms of the impact it's had and some of the things you went along the way?
Yeah, I mean, first off, I would always say focus on the product market fit, understand your customers and their pain points. But also, I mean, Looker, your team specifically has been doing so much amazing work around developer tooling that I would suggest taking advantage of all those great resources and tools. I mean, we love working with the extension framework. We're so excited about the work that you're doing in the component library, and being able to consume APIs, particularly the work that you've done around V4 of the Looker API, mixing and matching those actions. It's just, it seems almost limitless, the kinds of possibilities that we can achieve by building data experiences on top of all of those foundational pieces that Lookers provide to the developer community.
Well, thanks so much, David. We're super excited to continue to see what you guys are going to continue to build at 4 Mile and how you're leveraging extension framework and components and our APIs and our SDKs to build these custom data experiences. So nice chatting with you, and thanks for taking the time.
Nice chatting with you. Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to see you as always.
Thank you, Tochi and David. It's great to see these tools for developers being used in real life. Next, we'll look at one of the hottest topics in data, augmented analytics. Elena Rao from our product team will show us some off-the-shelf solutions and accelerators that will infuse intelligent insights directly into your workflows. Then Diane Strutner, CEO over at DataZoom, joins her for a brief chat all about advanced analytics. Take it away, Elena.
Thanks so much, Mary. I'm here to talk about some of the work that we've been doing on both the solutions and the marketplace side to put advanced and augmented analytic technology into the hands of users across a company. This year, our team spent a lot of time finding ways to pull augmented insights through the business and into the hands of more users. And the products we've built fall into 3 main categories. First, maximizing the impact of data coming from Google's AI services by making insights available to more users across the business. Next, democratizing access to ML functionality, both model building and the ability to leverage insights. And finally, thinking about how we can use the Looker product as another surface for individuals to interact with AI. Teams across Google Cloud are building powerful products and services that wrap AI around specific use cases. These teams are working with customers across industries to use AI in tangible and impactful ways across their business. To extend the value of the data and maximize the impact of these AI-driven solutions, we've partnered with the teams at GCP to build Looker offerings that put the power of that data into the hands of people across the business. Contact Center AI, or CCAI, offers companies a number of different products to lower the cost and increase customer satisfaction with the best of Google's AI technology. Insights, the newest addition to CCAI, reviews every conversation support agents are having, finding and annotating the data with the important information, as well as identifying the calls that need review. On top of that, though, Insights introduces a scalable and easy-to-use export to BigQuery for all the data from CCAI, and that's where Looker comes into play. Looker's block for CCAI Insights and also for Agent Assists gives you total access to this rich data set and sets you on the path to integrating the advanced insights into your first-party data in Looker, overlaying business data with customer experience data. So for example, making sure that our top spending customers are having A+ interactions. On top of that, though, this block is implemented through our marketplace, which means that customers can get up to speed very quickly with this technology. The Google Cloud Healthcare API provides a managed solution for storing and accessing healthcare data in Google Cloud, providing a critical bridge between existing care systems and applications hosted on Google Cloud. Google Cloud's new Healthcare NLP API uses natural language models to extract healthcare information from medical text. Looker's block for the Healthcare NLP API rapidly unnests the model results to unlock the insights from this unstructured data, bringing the value of the API to life for medical providers at every level. So we're providing simplified access to intelligent insights from this unstructured medical text. Healthcare providers, payers, and pharma companies can quickly understand the context and relationships of medical context within the text, such as medications, procedures, conditions, clinical history, and begin to link this to other clinical data sources for downstream AI and ML. To even better support our healthcare customers, we've also worked to build in BigQuery machine learning functionality to predict readmission rates at an encounter level visit. This means we have propensity risk scores by patient for unplanned readmission within 7 days. So, the way that we were able to predict those readmission rates is by leveraging BigQuery machine learning, or BQML, in Looker. And that's what this next section is really about. This year, we released new blocks that leverage Looker's data governance and self-service data exploration to put sophisticated analysis in the reach of more people in an organization. These blocks democratize advanced analytic techniques, allowing companies to gain deep insights. The blocks make BQML more accessible through Looker's user-friendly interface and enable companies to quickly prototype ML-driven solutions. And with Looker and BQML, data science teams can easily share their ML models and predictive analysis across the entire organization to turn machine learning into valuable, actionable insights. So for example, customer can use the time series forecasting block to gain deeper insights into future demand for better inventory and supply chain management. The blocks also give analysts the ability to quickly identify suspicious activity or unique patterns in their data that call for further analysis. Putting BigQuery's ML anomaly detection capabilities in the hands of analysts is especially useful when paired with Looker's alerting capabilities. So for example, customers can use the AutoML block to predict lifetime value and understand the total future value of each customer. As we all know, Google is recognized as an industry leader in AI and machine learning. So as part of GCP, Looker is trying to take advantage of this expertise in every way that we can. And so part of that is thinking about how we can pull that functionality through to the interface of Looker. And on top of that, how we can leverage our semantic model, the semantic model that customers have already created and created constrained vocabulary to access their data, to make that even better. And so by leveraging Google's NLP expertise, Looker is going to enable a new interface for your data, leveraging the model you've already used today to analyze the data in the core Explore and Dashboard interfaces. This product functionality, Ask Looker, is a great way to think about a human conversation with your data and really start to drive more insights from it. Hello Hello, everyone. I'm here with Diane Strutner, CEO and founder of DataZoom. Welcome to join, Diane.
Thank you for having me here.
Great to have you here.
Thank you, thank you.
Can you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and also a little bit about DataZoom?
Yeah, so I'm the CEO and founder of DataZoom, and we are a video data platform, and we service the streaming video industry. And we help companies who drive revenue with video to better improve the quality experience and optimize their services and ultimately grow profitability.
Through data.
Through data.
That's what we like to hear. So tell me a little bit more about DataZoom. Like, what was the opportunity that you saw? What was the pain point that customers were facing?
Yeah, so I think the streaming media space just exploded overnight, and all of a sudden we had technical teams who are trying to now push big files over this super unstable thing called the internet. And this created a lot of challenges. At the same time, we also had business teams who are now trying to use new models to license content, trying to monetize in new ways. So this created a sudden rush for new data and analytics that we didn't have before. And so what came to the rescue was these companies who had point solutions that would solve one problem for one team, but it also created the challenge that we have today, which is that we're unable to corroborate data, we're unable to correlate insights, and this ultimately makes all of this data and insight less useful.
So it sounds fantastic, and it sounds like you guys are really solving a problem that is core to a lot of industries, which is just an explosion of data, a need for quantity and quality, and kind of the balance of that. So when you think about how customers are using it, or what the ultimate value is for them, where are you seeing the partnership giving the most value?
Yeah, so I think what makes this so exciting is for the first time, companies can actually build internal competencies around how they're actually processing their data and actually build out their own models for the first time. So we enable companies to actually build models that could be used to do things like content recommendation or automated root cause analysis, or other ways of analyzing user or subscriber churn that we've just never seen before. But it's because of the data that DataZoom brings to the table, and because of the power and the flexibility of Looker that we now can, I think, unlock a lot more optimization and profitability for the streaming space.
It seems like just the power of a clean data set that just has what you need. It's such a seemingly simple problem, and I'm the solution is so complex. If you can get it together, it's a virtuous cycle if you do it right.
It is if you do it right.
So I just spoke a little bit about the work that we're doing with augmented analytics. Can you speak to how DataZoom is supporting work around augmented analytics?
Yeah, 100%. I think, as I said, for the first time, this industry has a really great data set. And some of the things that we've built into one of our blocks, and I hope we continue to release more blocks, is a content marketing recommendations tool. So if someone's watched a piece of content, to ensure that the user continues to re-engage, we'll say, why don't you suggest that they watch this other thing? Because people tend to like it. But there's so much that can be done with this granular data set and using machine learning, which is obviously optimized for these much bigger data sets. So things like automated root cause analysis can be done. Yeah. So if you have your player data and your CDN data and your encoding data, you can identify in the pipeline, hey, where did something break? Things like user churn analysis. So how often do people need to continue to re-engage with content to ensure that they come back? We even have some customers that are doing some pretty interesting stuff with, instead of creating a content recommendation engine, creating an advertising recommendation engine per user. So what ads do a specific user like to see. So you can imagine that requires a ton of data, but also a really great tool to process it all in.
It sounds like on the augmented side, you guys are really helping with the data set, and then also with just the surfacing of the insights that just come out of your platform.
100%. I know our team is going to continue to invest and build more places to help teams get started using Looker and using all of these great tools. And but it's most exciting when we get to see what customers put together, and you give people data and they can do a lot with it.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It was great to have you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Elena and Diane, thank you. It is so inspiring and important for all of us to see women like yourselves leading product and tech. Next, we'll explore our semantic model, which powers everyone's trust of data experiences with Looker. Alec Alexis, a product manager who works on the big picture vision of what Looker's semantic model can do, joins us next. She's got super exciting news to share on Looker's expanded integrations, and she'll then speak with Josh Temple and Dylan Baker of Spectacles. They have built a fantastic product for automatically testing the SQL that Looker generates, which allows developers to quickly deploy new code with confidence. All inspired by, get this, a chance meeting at a Looker Meetup.
Thanks, Mary. Oftentimes in organizations, people have a tool or tools they're most comfortable using to analyze data. Some folks might like using spreadsheets to do ad hoc analysis, or perhaps they have a specific BI tool they've been using for a while and are most comfortable with. Historically, this tendency has led to siloed data and data chaos in organizations. We need fundamental change. With Looker, our mission is to connect everyone in your organization with the most critical data they need. But to reach all users, regardless of whether they have specialized skills or not, we know we must meet people where they are in the tools they already use. Looker is a complete BI offering, including built-in modern BI. This is powered by our semantic model, which provides trusted, reliable access to governed metrics defined in Looker. Today, we're announcing that this is becoming the universal semantic model, providing access to these same trusted metrics through a variety of other tools, such as Tableau, Power BI, Google Workspace, and Google Data Studio. Hey Dylan, hey Josh, great to have you both here with us today. It would be great if you could share just a little bit about how you met and how you got the idea for Spectacles.
Sure. So Dylan and I were both early Looker customers. I was working for a New York City bakery called Milk Bar. Dylan was an early customer in the UK and then eventually a Looker consulting partner. And Dylan was speaking on a panel at a Looker meetup in New York that I attended. And while he was speaking about his experiences, he was talking about a common frustration that Looker developers often encounter, which is that it can be difficult to test that the SQL that you write in your LookML will actually run in your data warehouse. And the effect of this is that sometimes, unless you test it and test it manually, there will be errors that surface in your dashboards and reports that your users don't understand. And so I remember him sitting up on stage and saying, I would pay someone to build a thing that would automatically test the SQL in my LookML. My customers would pay me or would pay someone to do it. And it got me thinking because I had been spending some time experimenting with the Looker API. And I approached Dylan after the meetup and I said, Dylan, Looker's conference is coming up in a few months. I think we should submit an abstract and a proposal for doing something like this. And we started working together. We were both in different cities, and our company has been remote for the past few years. But we put together a prototype. We submitted it to join, and we were accepted to speak. And so, when we got to San Francisco to present at the conference, we were really excited, but also not sure how many people would want to attend a session about continuous integration and automated testing in Looker. But we were very pleasantly surprised to see that the room was standing room only. We had 4 rows of people in the back waiting to get in. It's been really exciting to see how the support of Looker and the support of the Looker community has helped make Spectacles what it is today.
That's so awesome. You're able to harness the flexibility of Looker's APIs to add so much additional value for customers.
Yeah, and I think what's great is it really did start. I mean, it's great that we're doing this for Join because we really, the only reason this started was really like we wanted to present it at Join. If you go back to the open source repository, you can see that I think commit 2 through 5 are us just working on our abstract submission for Join. So really, Josh and I have both benefited tremendously from the data community, Looker community broadly, and it's been really fun for this to have been built out from that.
That's awesome. In addition to that, what challenges or missed opportunities did you previously see with data, which led you to seek a new way of approaching the problem?
So I think Dylan and I are both inspired as data analysts to work as closely to the software engineering workflow and development lifecycle as possible. And so as people working on small data teams where we didn't always have a senior developer looking over our shoulder and checking our work, we really realized how important it is to use things like continuous integration and automated testing to make sure that the code that you're developing and eventually merge into production is clean and works the way that you expected it to. And so we saw a real opportunity within the Looker platform to build something that would fill that gap and would give developers peace of mind as they were writing LookML to be able to say, this code works, it's doing what I expect, and have the confidence to do their work well.
Thanks for sharing that. What type of customer would get the most value from this? I think, Dylan, this was something that you're really passionate about.
Yeah, so we've got customers really of all sizes using the platform. We've got everything from teams of 2 people who are time constrained and really want to make sure they're not making mistakes and use the platform to do that. And we've got really large companies, development teams of 30, 50 people, possibly across a bunch of instances. So the platform can work for everyone. That said, there are a couple sweet spots where we see a ton of adoption. So if you're an embedded use case, if you're using Looker to show, in the front end of your application, data to your customers, your risk there of your LookML being in any way wrong is much greater. And so in that instance, something like Spectacles that checks all your SQL, checks you're not breaking content, really is a no-brainer for organizations like that. The same can be said of organizations that have, as I said, 30, 50 developers, even kind of 15 plus. There's so many moving parts in a Looker instance with development teams of that size that it's hard to stay on top of all of that. The review process can become a bit slower. And so really, again, if you've got a really dynamic LookML code base with a ton of developers working on it, having that automated testing can give everyone the confidence to move quickly. And then finally, we've got a bunch of like hub and spoke teams using the tool. So if you have a central team and maybe you've got dependencies in between different LookML projects, and again, that's an instance where we work with a lot of companies where the review process gets slower because the dependencies across these things, it's sometimes hard to know exactly what the end behavior is going to be, even if you're making a small change. And so it's those larger, more complex instances and deployments where it's a real no-brainer, but we do see teams of all sizes using the tool.
And what kind of impact have you been seeing with the customers you worked with?
Yeah, so we work with a hub and spoke team where there's a central data team that supports the Looker platform for everyone in their organization, but where each sub-team has their own project. And their role is kind of it's almost a governance role. They're there to review the pull requests. They're there to make sure that nothing's breaking. And when they were reviewing, there's kind of 2 types of things they'd be checking. The first is, does this code run at all? And the second is, does the business logic match what we expect it to be? And with something like Spectacles, they brought their review times way down because that first category of things kind of goes away. You have confidence with Spectacles that everything's running, all the SQL's legitimate, there isn't a comma in the wrong place, whatever it might be. And so all they really have to review for is the business logic changes, which is a much more straightforward review process and has really allowed them to be a much more high leverage team supporting their organization.
And what's around the bend for Spectacles?
So we've had a ton of success providing this testing layer for LookML. But what's really cool about the Looker platform and Looker's API is there's actually a pretty broad range of things that we could build and that we now kind of plan to build. And so I think you can almost think of the platform as becoming DevOps for Looker of some sort. There are things like automatic code cleanup. So, not just telling you, hey, this explore and this join haven't been used in 90 days, but actually we've got an MVP that opens up a pull request for you and says, hey, we've seen that this code isn't being used. You're moving quickly. Understand that sometimes you're going to add stuff that doesn't get used over a period of time, becomes less in use. And instead of just pinging them and saying, hey, you need to go remove this thing, we can actually tell them, hey, we've done it. We've run our checks. We know that it doesn't break anything. Just merge this in and clean up your instance. There's been a ton of stuff around security permissions. As you talked about, as Looker becomes the core of analytics in other tools, there's more testing to be done, making sure that a LookML change isn't breaking some downstream experience in another BI tool. These large organizations are often have a multi-BI tool strategy these days. And just that as LookML becomes more used and the surface area becomes broader, we want to provide testing for all of that.
That makes a ton of sense. Now that you've been through all that, what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about doing a similar thing?
So if you're thinking about doing something like spectacles, what I would say to you is you have a superpower in that as a Looker customer, you have a deep understanding of the pressing challenges facing people doing BI today. And the best part about the platform that Looker has built and the depth of API coverage and documentation and even the community supporting Looker is that there's a ton of possibilities to create whatever you need to solve the problems that you're having. That's exactly what Dylan and I did through Spectacles. And with Spectacles being open source, it's something that we've been even able to share back with the larger community, to get contributions from other Looker customers, and ultimately contribute to the best experience possible for Looker developers.
Great. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks, Josh, so much for your time and for sharing some of your experiences with us today.
Wow, I love that. You truly never know who you'll meet at a Looker event. It's such a cool community that's more than just data tips and tricks. Thank you, Alex, Josh, and Dylan. Such a great story and an awesome product. To close out our session, we'd like to show you where Looker's product is heading in the months and years to come. So finally, drum roll please, here to show you our 2022 roadmap, Pedro Alejano, who leads our outbound product management team.
Thank you so much, Mary. I hope you all are as excited as we are about all the projects we've been working on and the innovative applications that our partners are building. And now we get to my favorite part of the program, our 2022 product roadmap. Now, I ended up with the very fun task of talking about the exciting projects that we're going to be working on next year. And it starts with investing in our core platform. We are working on a number of exciting projects, but it really begins with a robust foundation. A scalable, highly performant, and multi-cloud platform that can support all the use cases our customers need to run their business. And we begin with our commitment to a multi-cloud strategy. Now, Looker has been multi-cloud and data infrastructure agnostic right from the start. And at Google Cloud, we're still committed to helping customers leverage the right infrastructure for the right use case. So that's why we support hosting in Google Cloud, AWS, and Microsoft Azure. And we'll continue to be data infrastructure agnostic and now actually support more than 60 SQL database versions. We also remain committed to security and compliance, and we've got a wide range of certifications that we're continually adding to. And integrating into the broader Google Cloud infrastructure will enable us to offer further controls to help customers configure their system to fit their needs. Now, we're also deeply integrating with the Google Cloud data stack. And we're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with Looker and with BigQuery. So we're going to be rolling out a much simplified setup process to configure Looker on top of BigQuery, as well as performance optimizations, including ways to better leverage BigQuery BI engine. But it's not just the back end that we're investing in. We want the front end experience to be as rich, flexible, and intuitive as it can be. Imagine the ability to create an interactive dashboard straight from the first time you hit save, or being able to incorporate new options like buttons and links without needing to code. We want to support all of you who choose Looker because you wanted a flexible and powerful BI platform. And we want to make it easier than ever to leverage those capabilities. Now, another exciting feature we're introducing is called guided analysis. Imagine being able to deploy a sophisticated analysis in just a couple of clicks. Guided analysis does just that. You could have a funnel analysis, for example, looking at sessions based on event steps and standard filters. You can build something like this in Looker today, but it requires a decent amount of knowledge. With guided analysis, you enable more people in the organization, like marketers, like product managers, with a tailored experience that's going to help them understand user behavior much more easily and much faster. Now, finally, we're also taking a look at our core data exploration experience. Now, one primary use case that we've observed is the creation of content. What if you could use Looker to create rich visualizations and increase the amount of customizations that's possible? Now, as Jamie mentioned at the beginning, we're investing in three main areas. The first one is composable. We're going to continue to deliver robust, modular, and reusable front-end components. Now, these components are going to help you assemble all kinds of data-rich experiences using a low-code approach that removes the need for boilerplate content as much as possible. All of this is enabled by Looker's extension framework, which we released this year, and we will continue to develop and enhance it and make it even more powerful and even easier to use. We're going to be focusing on low-code and no-code capabilities, as well as an improved integration with Looker's IDE. And we're going to continue investing in the Looker marketplace, we see the marketplace as the one-stop shop for the Looker community to leverage applications built by other Looker developers. So you can explore all kinds of content, extensions, blocks, custom visualizations, and you can deploy marketplace content directly into your Looker instance. Now, something we're very excited about is extending the integrated development environment, the IDE, to support front-end experiences. We want to give developers the ability to change fields in the database, in the LookML model, content and front-end applications in seamless lockstep development. Augmented analytics are fundamentally changing the way that people interact with data. We see a tremendous opportunity to help you take advantage of augmented capabilities to deliver a better and more intuitive experience with Looker. Now, Google is a recognized industry leader in AI, and we have the opportunity to take advantage of this expertise to enhance the Looker product. Natural language is one of these areas, and Looker is positioned to deliver a uniquely valuable experience thanks to the things you've already built with our technology if you deployed Looker, because you've already created a curated semantic model. That means your users have already created the vocabulary to access their data. So by leveraging Google's natural language expertise, we can enable a new interface to your data that leverages the model that you're already using today to analyze that data in our core exploration and dashboard interfaces. But that's only the beginning. Looker's analytical alerts are a powerful way to use data to drive business workflows. And in 2022, we want to make these alerts even smarter. By leveraging Google's anomaly detection technology and integrating it into Looker's platform, an analyst will be able to select the KPIs that matter for the business and rely on Looker to tell them when they are changing. The last section I'll cover is really at the core of what the Looker platform has always been about, which is about supporting different data experiences. Looker has never really been merely a BI tool. It's an API-first platform that all kinds of data experiences can use to deliver live, secure, trusted, and highly performant data to the users. That means that you can have an organization with a number of people using Looker visualizations as the front end, but you can also have people using products like Google Sheets, or Google Slides, or even other BI tools like Data Studio, Tableau, Power BI. But no matter what front-end experience your users need, you can be confident that they're all using the same data, the same business logic, and the same business definitions. Now, the first of these integrations we'll deliver will be the ability to use Google Sheets as a front end to Looker, and this will be available later this year. Imagine being able to work with live, trusted, and secure data, but with the familiarity of a pivot table and formulas. But it's not all about the data analyst, right? Data and insights are only valuable if your users see it. And the reality is that not every worker will be in a BI tool every day. So we are deepening our integration with Google Workspace and enabling customers to view Looker trusted, governed data and visualizations in Google Slides. And one more very exciting thing. We are thrilled to announce that Data Studio has joined the Looker team. We're so excited to deeply integrate the product and bring the best-in-class enterprise BI tool and ad hoc analysis together. There's so much that we're excited about, and we can't wait to roll out these new capabilities and get your feedback. We always value your input, and it genuinely helps guide our product investment decisions. On behalf of the entire Looker team, we thank you for your time today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the virtual conference.
Woo! We have covered a lot today. It is so inspiring what all of you, our customers, are doing with data. Looker doesn't only help tackle business problems, but the real-world challenges your organizations are trying to solve, and it is an honor to be a part of that. Your feedback and input continue to drive our product forward, so please continue to share. We genuinely love hearing from you. Thank you for your time, attention, and your support of Looker. And now for our live Q&A session with Jamie.